Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, it has definitely been a more quiet week this week with everything going on. The ETF applications are still in process. We don't know when they're going to be released. Some of the ETF analysts on Twitter have been saying it'll be next week now. So we're still waiting. There's so many numbers being thrown around about potential ETH inflows. There's been refilings with issuers on the various fees, but we're still a ways from getting that under, getting that out and in the open. Otherwise, the news from the Fed or what the latest Fed talk is that most people don't think we're getting a rate cut till September. And so we're kind of really well within the summer doldrums. It is almost mid-July, but we still got some tokens to talk about today. So I will get started with you all. So first we're going to talk about Friendtech. So if you didn't miss the episode from probably about a month ago, I already talked about Friendtech a month ago. And I tend not to try to repeat things too frequently, but I thought this was pretty funny. So we discussed social platform Friendtech about a month ago, and they had planned to move off Coinbase's layer 2 base and create their own chain dubbed Friend Chain. This was met with some mixed feelings, and a lot of folks weren't sure why they would move off the base when it gave them such, a great pipeline of users potentially, but they were doing so, and that was looked at with mixed results, as I said. Last week, though, Friendtech officially abandoned this plan, citing community feedback. In addition, they decreased the fees for using the Friendtech platform and for using their Bunny Swap DEX to zero, essentially for the cutting all project revenue. Despite this move, though, the Friend token has just not been having a great go of it. It was hit down initially about 40%, and it's now down about 15% on the week. All right, next up is Frax Finance. So DeFi protocol Frax Finance released a governance proposal this week that would change what asset stakers receive as rewards. So basically the way that Frax currently works is that protocol rewards are given to people who stake their governance token FXS, and they're given more FXS for staking. And the way that it works is that the protocol buys back that FXS that's rewarded to people like on the open market. So in a sense, it is a buyback, but then you're just giving it into the hands of the community. Basically, the change that they're proposing is that instead of using the governance token as the reward token, they would actually reward users with Frax bonds instead. So Frax bonds, another very complicated part of their DeFi stack, is they're basically zero coupon bonds that are issued by Frax, and they convert to the Frax stablecoin upon maturity. Yet they're longer dated. These are also longer dated, like multi-year bonds. The idea, though, would be basically you're swapping FXS for FXBs, would essentially distribute a cash equivalent asset instead of the protocol's governance token. And overall, this would be, actual cash generative versus just rewarding somebody in a governance token, slightly more circular. So this is up for discussion so far. It looks like pretty positive reception from the community, but time will tell if it actually gets implemented and when. It is Frax, though, is down 9% for the week. All right, next up, talking about Ronin. So Ronin, the layer 2 gaming protocol created by Sky Mavis, they recently added support for a Filipino peso stablecoin called PHPC. So recently, Ronin's gone through a bunch of upgrades to the Ronin wallet, including the addition of Coinbase Pay, which allows users to cash in and out of Ronin really easily and directly without having to go, say, through Coinbase to Ethereum, bridge to Ronin, and then they can take their assets. So just much more usability for the user. These upgrades really make it clear that Ronin is trying to make themselves like a banking hub as well for users in Southeast Asia. And especially the addition of this stable coin should really help with on and off ramping for those users in that region. So to be clear though, the PHPC stablecoin, it's not issued or affiliated with Ronin. It's just issued by another exchange called CoinPH, and they claim that they are regulated within the Philippines. So hopefully working well within the regulatory body. Ronin is up about 90 basis points this week. All right, last up, we're going to talk about Say Network. So, Say Network is a parallelized layer one protocol. They launched their V2 yesterday, which introduces Ethereum Virtual Machine or EVM capabilities alongside existing support for WASM capabilities. So, um, EVM's introduction, like really broadly, basically just means that users can now interact more easily with the Say blockchain instead of having to have a different wallet than, say, MetaMask or the Coinbase wallet to interact with other EVM chains. They can now just use that wallet instead of having to go and find a WASM specific wallet. The other big solve that this V2 allows is that developers are able to now use Solidity Smart Coding contract language on the Say blockchain, which is like kind of the most well-known smart contract language. This is and allows it basically allows any contracts that were maybe built elsewhere, like on other blockchains, to be reused on Say without having to like re-engineer them from the ground up. So Say was built to support ultra-fast on-chain trading. But despite this, they've kind of struggled to gain mindshare. They launched end of last year. It's partly due to the fact that they just haven't gotten like this mainstream smart contract technology. And so hopefully we will see some changes with this new V2 upgrade. Say is up 4.5% for the week. All right. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.